driving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon. What the heck's it doing? Oh, the sound might be different. I would ask some people, but they can't tell. So, I'll do a little bit of sharing on Facebook here. So Jason Momoa is now dating Amber Heard. It is official, which is fine because both of them are just no thanks. I won't even. I think I made it through like 20 minutes of Aquaman, and even when I like watch The Flash or something, I skip over the Aquaman stuff because, well, you know, he's just a piece of meat. So yeah, not much acting skills there. I don't think anyway. They're both just eye candy. Really. I mean, come on. Yeah, this isn't quite going to work, but we're going to do it anyway. Ugh. Because I keep disappearing. Right, watch. Woo, woo. Make it, and it puts this little thing around me. And yeah. All right. So we're done with the background. Hello. Well, hello, Puppet. Here, I'm going to put the virtual background. You tell me yay or nay. I like it, but see, things start to disappear. Ooh, there goes my hand. Okay. I can make it so you can see other things in the background, like the club trudges right there. There's the window. See. I have a green screen somewhere in all of my crap. Nobody cares about my background. They really don't. I did change the sound. It should sound a little bit more crisp, but Amber's not going to be able to tell. Because she blares that rock and roll music. Oh, it still smells like puke in here. They're gone, but yeah, they left the puke behind. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna solve it. I'm just gonna throw the frickin' area rug away. Did I look like I was in a jail cell? Maybe I should keep it then. When I came up with that, I made that like, I don't know, 3 years ago. It was way before it was before I moved in here. And I had a green screen, right? And what I just wanted was like bricks behind me. And it doesn't quite work. Here's some of my other ones. Here's Trudging Together. Trudging Together. Here's this one. We could add another one. Let's see if there's one that we could add that's worth anything. No, not really. Well, we'd go with this one. This is actually, out of all my logos, this is actually my favorite. But it's just really dark. Like, it's dark as in, I mean, look at the whole picture, man. I'll get out of the way. All right, see? See, now I could just, do something like this. Okay, I'm done fucking around. All right, let's do introductions, get this thing going. Let's get this party started. All right. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name's Dion. We're going to be in the big book, page 567, where we're going to be. If you're here, please say hello, whether watching the live or the rewatch. The live or the rewatch. If you're a rewatcher. I see somebody else is here. If the sound is better, will you let me know? I hung those hats in the wrong place. Should put them up there. But I'm moving my desk anyway. Have you noticed I change shit all the time? You like the last one? Really? See, that's my favorite too. Let's go ahead and use it. What? Yay for progress. Yay for progress. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. I really am. You know, when your spouse gets on board with what you're doing, it makes it a lot easier to work this program. It does. So I'm really glad to hear that, Ingrid. I'm glad you could join and tell me that. Now, will you tell me if my sound is any better? I don't think anybody cares. I think I'm the only one that cares. I just needed something to do today, and none of it worked. Probably didn't even change it. All right. So, spiritual experience. The terms spiritual experience and spiritual awakening are used many times in this book, which, upon careful reading, shows the personality change sufficient to bring about recovery from alcoholism has manifested itself in many different forms. You can't remember? That's all right. That's not a big deal. See, if I put the book there, you can see the steps. This is the kind of screwing around I do. Okay. So it talks about the personality change sufficient to bring about recovery. What is that? What's the psychic change? That is awesome psychic change. Yeah. What that is. It's a personality change. Hey, I don't want to do it this way anymore. You know, and in a way it is a spiritual experience, but we don't quite see it yet. We don't quite see it, you know. So, but yeah, there seems to be a personality change. People will say things like, it feels different. You know, you're acting different. You know, and that includes all the times that they tried to quit before. Because something's actually going on. Okay. Yet it is true that our first printing gave many readers the impression that these personality changes or religious experience must be in the nature of sudden and spectacular upheavals. Happily for everyone, this conclusion is erroneous. It means it doesn't matter. Because see, before it says it's manifested itself in us in many ways. And what they talk about is the higher power that we bring into our lives. You know, whether that be nature or love or, you know, a Christian God or maybe it's Buddha, maybe it's a lot of different things. You know, there's a lot of things out there that are bigger than me, right? A lot of things. Internet's bigger than me. Not really a reliable source for a higher power, though, is it? All right. So why are they saying that? Because there are a lot of stories in here, right? Which is why one reason why I think they should have put Dr. Bob's story right after Dole's story. Personally, I think. But you know, I'm not a publisher either, so what do I fucking know? Right. But I am trying to work on my swearing so people know. Yeah, why not? I don't know. Use it for the occasional. And so Bill had a sudden upheaval. When I think of it, that sounds very, very uncomfortable. See, I'm too reactionary, and I don't think I knew enough of the Bible, understood quite enough that a sudden spiritual experience would really hold fast with me. I would have just thought I was going nuts. Yeah. If I'm a reactionary person, if God gave me a burning bush, I'd throw water on it. I would have back then. Now I don't. Now let those flames ride high. I'll throw gas on that son bitch. Not really. Not really. Just, you know, I let it be. Right. Anyway. In the first few chapters, a number of sudden revolutionary changes are described. Though it was not our intention to create such an impression, many alcoholics nevertheless conclude that in order to recover, they must acquire an immediate and overwhelming God consciousness, followed at once by a vast change in feeling and outlook. See, we alcoholics will pick this shit up apart. Well, why? That's not going to happen for me. Look at all these people are having these spiritual experiences left and right. I don't want that. You know. Now God is poking you. Ow! Ow! Son of a. Pain is a touchdown at all. It was a bad joke, right? But yeah, we picked this shit apart, man, because we think we're totally unique, so we're going through this, right? And if we do it on our own, and a lot of times in the beginning we do, and it isn't until somebody comes along and says, "You didn't do that." Well, I did, but it was different, and all right, and to get them to come in, right? I'm fading. See my arm going away. Okay. All right, I'll quit screwing around. No, I won't. I won't. Among our rapidly growing fellowship of thousands of alcoholics, such transformations, though frequent, are by no means the rule. Most people I meet, it's what's called the educational variety. What it is. That's the way it is. Right. Now I've met plenty of people that have sudden spiritual experiences and I've met those people. But after that, we're all the same. Okay. Whether the spiritual experience was sudden and quick or it was of the educational variety, we all still got to do the work. It doesn't change the work that needs to be done. If somebody had a sudden spiritual experience in this, it doesn't mean that they are more advanced or anything like that. Right? Because there's a sticking point for everyone in this program. There is a step that is going to be difficult that you didn't know was going to be, but it was. Mine was 6 and 7. I did not want to accept perfection. I wouldn't. And it took my sponsor a little bit to get me to understand that I'm never going to be perfect, but that I'm going to strive for it. Okay. It was just a complete denial. Okay. It was pride in reverse. Well, that's not for me. What am I saying there? Well, I don't really want to be sane. I'm kind of enjoying my insanity right now. That's what I was saying. Most of our experiences are what the psychologist William James, and I don't know if that's Silkworth or not. I have no idea. Probably not, because it's just William James. Calls the educational variety because they develop slowly over a period of time. Quite often, friends of the newcomer are aware of this difference long before he is himself. We're the last people to see any changes, even when we're looking for it. Okay. It's like when you were younger and you saw your aunt or your uncle, they're like, you're growing like a weed. You're like, I haven't grown at all. What are you talking about? Yeah. So, Amber and Ingrid know what I'm going to say about this. Encouragement. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how, even last night, somebody was talking in the meeting and they were talking, they've been, I think 3-4 months, right? And shit's kind of gotten real for them now. Hey, which is good. But they were talking about this series of events and they were saying it was hard and stuff. I'm going to tell you, all I heard was progress. It's all I heard. I'm like, that's progress, man. And they're like, yeah, it is. So when you see progress, tell somebody. Tell them. Because they don't know. Okay. And their wife, their therapist, their whatever may tell them, but for some reason, when it comes from an alcoholic, seems to stick a little bit better. It does. When it's your children, it tends to stick a little different, doesn't it? Yeah. He finally realizes he has undergone a profound alteration in his reaction to life. It's the reaction to life. Okay. Intrusive thoughts. It's forever, man. Sorry. Sorry, intrusive thoughts aren't going away. It's what I do with them now. They are less. They're a lot less. Before it was just everything. I could find something wrong with everything and everyone. Of course I could, because it's all fallible. Everything is fallible. This cup is fallible. All right. All right. We're not going to make it fallible, though. We're going to keep it the way it is. And it's that reaction. We don't react the same, do we? Because we understand something. We understand our own spiritual malady. Once we can accept the fact that we have a spiritual malady, and I still have one, that's part of the perfection, right? The malady doesn't necessarily go, I mean, I don't know that I don't know if it's much a malady as much, I don't have another word for it. Less malady kind. It's not even a correct sentence. So how would it be less malacatical? But you understand what I'm saying. And that's what's great about being an alcoholic around people that are in recovery from alcoholism. You understand what I'm saying. I think the steps are trying to come through. What often, oh, wait a minute, in his life, that such a change could hardly have been brought about by himself alone. Never seen anyone beat this disease in single-handed combat. And we're not just talking about God or a higher power. We need people. Why do we need people? Well, my higher power talks to his children. He doesn't talk directly to me, always. There's been times I get an intuition, but there's not a voice in my head that goes, Dion, this is your higher power. Now, if that happened, I'd probably go check myself into a psychiatry place, right? What often takes place in a few months could seldom have been accomplished by years of self-discipline. With few exceptions, our members find they have tapped an unsuspecting inner resource, which they presently identify with their own conception of a greater power, of a power greater than themselves. What a great line. What a great line. Make it so free and easy for someone. We were just talking with somebody in a meeting, and they're trying to figure out if they are alcoholic. And I love what my friend said. They were like, because Sean, it's like, if you think you have it, even if you're sober, curious, or any of this, then yeah, you belong here. And the smile that went across that person's face when they finally realized that maybe they actually belong somewhere is really cool to watch. Don't leave those. There was close to 50 people in that meeting. 4 people stuck around for the parking lot meeting. That means there's only really 4 people there that were, right? Yeah. Yeah. But I like this. Find that they have tapped an unsuspected inner resource which they presently identify with their own conception as a power greater than themselves. And it's got to happen that way. See, that's the great news. We had it all along. We've always had it. We just didn't know how to utilize it correctly. Right? When I use a hammer instead of a screwdriver, it's still probably going to get the job done, but that thing is not going to be secure the way that it's supposed to be. Yeah. That's what I do. I take hammers to screws and screwdrivers to nails, right? Just use the end of the screwdriver. And just fucking stay. Hey, I'm trying to come back on my swearing. You're not helping. Oh, most of us think this awareness of a power greater than ourselves is the essence of a spiritual experience. Our more religious members call it God consciousness. Wish they'd stop throwing the religious. Okay. It's there. Is the essence. That means it can't be done without it. Okay? If you have dirt but no water, you can't make mud. The only thing, it was the only example I could really come up with real quick. Right? For me, a spiritual experience and God consciousness are a little different in the fact that a spiritual experience is something that is kind of happening right now that changes it. My God consciousness is more my intuition. Hey, that person's over there hurting, and maybe I should go talk to them. That's a conscious. Now I have a conscious. Before I didn't have a conscious. I didn't give a fuck what happened to you. I did not care. And if I did care, oh, we would eliminate that quickly. Yes, we would. Or alcohol. Oblivion. Yay, oblivion. I always drank to oblivion. You bet. Most emphatically, we wish to say that any alcoholic capable of honestly facing his problems in the light of our experience can recover, provided he does not close his mind to all spiritual concepts. He can only be defeated by an attitude of intolerance or belligerent denial. It's the denial will kill. It just kills. And denial. So, I mean, I just talked about it earlier that I had a sticking point at 6 and 7. It was denial. When I was given my when I was told that I had PTSD, got to keep them separate because they are two different things. Sorry. Somebody was supposed to keep an appointment with me today about my Medicaid, and they're like, I can't do it. We're gonna do it, and it's just it pisses me off. So, see, but it's probably a family emergency, and if I knew what was going on, I'd probably be like, get the fuck out of here. See how that intrusive thought comes along, but we can do with it. What we do with it is what matters, right? So Amber is saying spiritual experience is a state of being or mind that a person considers beyond ordinary explanation. Yeah. What'd you do? Pull that from Google? It can be caused by the presence of God or another religious or ultimate factor. And that's it. Yeah. There's a lot of different, it says that spiritual concepts. It's not saying you got to believe in our God and this is the way that it is. This is say church, right? A church, and even then, I can't even really say, I've been going to church lately, and Pastor Marsha, she doesn't. The guy I went to on Sunday, his name's Duncan. No, they don't believe in hell and damn fire and all this other stuff, and they make it just as easy to find your own higher power as we do here. Yeah. I was wrong about some things. I was wrong. Right? Now, would I go there? Do I have to believe in Jesus? Do I have to believe in all these things? No, not a requirement. I can, in fact, if I want, I can get up and go have a cigarette in the middle of their preaching if I want. They're just glad I was here. God consciousness is a state of being aware of God's presence and knowing God. Yeah. See? Oh, yeah, it was backwards here. So let's redo this. God consciousness is the state of being aware of God's presence and knowing God. It can also mean living with a greater sense of purpose and meaning. Some say that God consciousness can lead to a spiritual experience is a state of being or mind that a person considers to be beyond ordinary explanation. It can be caused by the presence of God or another religious ultimate factor. Yeah. Well, and right there, you know what that is? That's the language of the heart. And that's what we do now. We speak the language of the heart. And language of the heart is just being nice to people. Patience, tolerance, kindliness, and love. That's the language of the heart. Right? Because to me, God is love. It's all it is. I know it's more than that. You know. Did you? Okay. Well, it went pretty well together. It did. It went pretty well together. So yeah, I know. And the other one was God consciousness. Yep. See, a little different, right? But there again, they're words, they're base words, right? Like God is a universal word. So we can only be defeated by an attitude of intolerance. Tolerance means I ain't listening to nobody. That's the fuck it's for Dion. That's the F it's for Dion. So, or belligerent. Look up belligerent. Because belligerent to me, I don't think I quite got it around my head on that one. Definition of belligerent.
Here's the definition of belligerent: hostile and aggressive.
Not where my mind went. So anger. So much anger that I just deny myself, right? Yeah, there you go. Yeah. See, we don't have to explain it. There you go. Yeah. God of my understanding. God of my understanding, but we don't have to understand God. I like that, nor do I want to. Me either. Me either. I don't need to because I've seen so much. I've seen so much happen. You know, I like this too. I know I'm not God, and that's effing cool with me, right? So it isn't. Oh, it is. I put a ghost app thing on my phone called Ghost Box or something like that. I've been kind of scared to use it. Not scared, but I want to see if I can talk to my grandma. So, and my fear is that it's actually going to work. Kind of. I don't know what it is. I don't know what I'm scared of. You know, I'm finding myself, I haven't been allowing myself to have fun. Does that make sense? Allowing myself to be happy. You know, I've noticed that about myself lately. So I'm trying to change that. Trying to allow myself to be a little more carefree and happy. And dare I say it, fortunately, I lost the word, um, where you do something quick. That's probably true. It's probably true. It's probably why we laugh at it so much. All right. We find that no one have difficulty with the spirituality of the program. No. This is one of those where it'll be as hard as we decide to make it. Right. Now, maybe we've had some bad experiences with, maybe we've had some bad experiences with church. Not all churches are the same, man. You know, we can't just say, oh, that one Christian person, they did this, so therefore all Christians are bad. You know, we can't do that. But that's the way an alcoholic mind tends to work. You know, um, and it's one of those where it's as difficult as you decide to make it. On the other hand, it is great that we have a lot of different people in the program that can explain what we're saying about it. And when we say, hey, we're not going to tell you what to believe in and how to believe it and any of that, because I don't know what I'm doing. Then the relief that comes across their face is almost amazing, man. You know, number one, I don't really want or need anything from you. I already got it. I'm here to help you, and I'm at your disposal. Yeah, yes, they are. Even the chain churches, yeah. Um, And I'll give an offer. Marcia she is preaching this Sunday. She preaches on the first and third Sunday. I don't know if other people are doing Zoom. The last guy had a Zoom going. If not, then what I thought about doing was just using my Zoom. And if people want to join and listen to Pastor Marcia, she does a lot for us. And I think you'll really enjoy listening to her. So I'm probably going to give that invite. Not only that, but she supports a lot of what I do. So I'm like, why, I could be open-minded and go down there and support. Yeah. When I went last week, I was the youngest person there. Yeah. So I thought there'd be more people there. Well, it was a handful of people. But you know what? That preacher got up and he did just as good a job as if there was 1,000 people there. And that I got. That I understood. His enthusiasm did not wane. And I was impressed by that. All right. Willingness, honesty, and open-minded are the essentials of recovery, but these are indispensable. Okay, that's awesome. What I'll do is I'll get it figured out. And I'll probably put it in the grassroots AA meeting, or maybe I'll make another WhatsApp group or something. But yeah, I mean, even if it was like a half hour of it, I'm just trying. She's done so much, and she's gonna do a lot more. And I want to be there to see it. I want to be there to see it. She's almost a sister to me. She's almost a sister, and yeah, it's just turned into a very beautiful relationship. And it's quite often that because she's no longer at Henderson Community Church either. She left after I did. She was only sticking around because I was kind of there and running AA. And so, did AA fail? No, it didn't. That meeting did not fail. Al-Anon is still going on, which is cool because maybe they'll get some Alateen in there, right? Yeah, right. And I met Marcia. Yeah, and I met Amber in person a few times because we talk a lot, but we don't. You know, I'd like to kind of do some movie nights and stuff with some friends. I've got some cool movies I think you guys would really like, and game nights. Maybe Grassroots can start doing Night Watch. That'd be fun. And they'd let us hang out at the church too. I can find us a church. Got meetings going to Community Resource Center. Of course, they have not contacted me back, so they may have changed their mind. I'll just find another place. All right. There's a principle, which is a bar. Oh, let's get back to this willing. So it's the how of the program: honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. All right. But what's the first one? Well, it's honesty. Honesty is yeah. When we first get here, I mean, I was full of shit. I was full of it. But I was being as honest as I could. And that's what I give to newcomers, because they don't know how to tell the truth yet. They don't know what they're saying yet. But that's okay too, because I've been there. And since I've been there, I can meet them where they're at. And that means that I'm always on the same level with other people. I'm not anything special. Right? In the grand scheme of things, I'm special to some people, and I think that's great. So willingness. Willingness is probably the easiest out of all of these. But willingness is used for almost every single step because it's just the process. Okay. And willingness can even come before honesty. Maybe you need to be willing to be honest. Right? Open-mindedness really just has to do with the fact of, all my best thoughts got me to where I am. So maybe I need to listen to a different way. right? And you'll find, at least I have found that as I go through the years, that I'm still closed-minded about some things. And I need to take a different look at that. Okay. That open, but when we combine all three of these things, it's a combination that really, really works. Okay. Also, what's great about these things, there's no action required. There's no action required for me to be open-minded and just be like, you know what? Maybe and you know what? That doesn't even mean I need to agree. I just need to listen and understand what they're trying to say. I don't have to agree with it. It's not a requirement there. Okay. Doesn't mean I'm going to turn around and bash it. I will in my head for a second until I come around. Sure. But, not only that, but these are the basics of recovery. They're the basics: honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. All right. There is a principle, which is a bar against all information, which is proof against all arguments, and cannot fail to keep a man in everlasting ignorance. That principle is contempt prior to investigation. And that just leads back to the how of the program and being open-minded, having a truly open mind, right? Well, it's a lot easier to have an open mind when the obsession of alcohol has been lifted from you. When you're not incessantly thinking about alcohol all the darn time. How am I going to get it? Where am I going to get it? Those people are going to see me. Is this going to happen? Paranoia that comes with drinking. Personally, I never went through the going to a liquor store and like thinking what I thought of me. I didn't fucking care. I just didn't care. I didn't hide my alcoholism. Well, there were times when it came to family stuff and like there was a funeral for somebody in AA, and I was still drinking at the time. I'd known this person for a long time, but I wasn't invited because of my alcoholism. Yes. My mom was like, "You can't come. I love you." My wife went, my kids went, because they were also kind of in the family, but no, I would have just made things worse. So now I don't have to do that anymore. Now I get invited because, I tend to make things better now. And if I'm not going to make things better, then I don't go. Then why? So I can ruin somebody else's day and have to make an amend? Nope. All right. I noticed a lot of lag in this video. I think it has to do with the background. So it's cool. Who cares? All right. Ghost phone. Ghost phone. Ghost phone. All right. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. Time to decompress. I don't know. I'm stuck. I've been playing Jedi Survivor. Great series. But I'm in this one place where I don't know where to jump to next, and that just irritates the hell out of me. So I'm gonna have to go watch some dude that's 15 or whatever show me how to do it on YouTube. All right. I remember video games, they didn't come with a manual. You got like directions, and that was it. There was one game, Heroes of Might and Magic. It was Might and Magic back then. It was one of their first games. It took me 2 months to figure out a problem. So all right. Yeah, maybe that's what I should start doing, is saying, hey, I'm gonna wrap up here in about 30 seconds so people can start saying bye and stuff. I'm just thinking of things that try and make this a little better so that more people are attracted to it. So, all right. Oh, cool. Yay. Most of your cleans should be done, or was that just the cabin? More spiders in my shit. Great. All right. I love you. Peace out.